Spider-Man and Supergirl are two of the brightest heroes in their respective universes, and if we really think about it, one is the friendly neighborhood wall crawler with the heart of gold that we've all come to know and love. The other, the Girl of Steel, the beacon of hope for humanity in her own right, just as much as her cousin. Now, at a first glance, they might seem like total opposites. One's a scrappy street level hero, and the other is a powerhouse from another planet. But again, when you really have to think about it, these two would be perfect for each other. They would have some big hearts, obviously. They got the big hearts. They have the same struggles and that same kind of mix of tragedy and triumph that makes them so relatable. So let's break this down and specifically talk about why Spider-Man and Supergirl wouldn't just make an amazing team, but they would absolutely love each other. And if you guys haven't already told, welcome back to another episode of me just kind of talking about specific characters from either the Marvel to DC universe or whatever, vice versa, that I honestly think would just love each other in almost any specific way, whether it's platonically or relationship wise. And Peter Parker being Peter Parker, it's most likely going to be relationship wise when it comes to girls, because boy can riz about anything up. So with all of that said, let's actively get into the video. If you guys do enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you guys see more videos like this. But let's get it. Now, one of the first reasons that I honestly think that they would love each other is just because of the moral similar compasses that they both share. Both of them are deeply guided by a strong sense of responsibility. Spider-Man is Spider-Man. He has basically been dealing with this for ages. He has been doing this hero stuff for so long, and just to be clear, I'm not talking about like a 15, 16, 17-year-old Spider-Man. I'm talking about a Spider-Man that's been doing this for ages. The ones that are usually around like late 20s, early 30s, the ones that are like prime into their game, have done the mentoring stuff and done the Spider-Man for so long and so well that they have become very well known by everyone. And that kind of Spider-Man has been dealing with this kind of responsibility of being Spider-Man for so long that he understands the weight of it. That weight of the same thing that he's been listening to and repeating in his head for his entire time being Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. A saying that perfectly aligns with almost anybody in the L family's entire bloodline. The mission to help others. That basically often is being one of the most selfless things about any person with that specific name or that carries the super sigil entirely anywhere, and Supergirl is no different. She shares that mission that just wants to help others, and honestly is probably one of my favorite heroes in terms of anything else, but we know that that alone would get them getting along almost instantaneously. They are both also natural protectors, always putting others first, no matter what the cost. Supergirl, again, is Supergirl. She has literally a cousin that's been doing this and is probably one of the most popular heroes of all time, but she is basically made for this, has the powers to be able to protect any person no matter what the cost, and she's already had to pay a great cost just being on Earth anyway. She lost her entire planet, along with, all that specific base things about being a Kryptonian. But she has to deal with, obviously, the secret identity. She has to deal with all of the just trials and tribulations of being a hero in the first place. And nobody understands losing things and having to be a hero and protect others at a great cost more than Peter Parker. He has had to lose family members. He has had to lose loved ones. He has had to lose basically everything that he has cared about in one way or another in almost any given story just due to the fact of being Spider-Man. And he always continues on being Spider-Man because he knows no matter what's going on in his life, people will always need that kind of symbol of hope, that symbol of peace that the supers already align with, as I've already stated, and Peter has just basically been his entire time being Spider-Man. Obviously, to J. Jonah Jameson's great detriment. Now, the second reason that I also think that they would absolutely love each other is just due to the fact of their both shared tragic past. Spider-Man obviously lost Uncle Ben, while Supergirl lost her entire world, Krypton. Despite this, they both channel their grief into being the symbols of hope and strength in their respective entire environments. Peter Parker is well known as the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but even though he's just the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man or the amazing Spider-Man, everyone knows Peter Parker. Well, everyone knows specifically Spider-Man, and everybody usually loves Spider-Man. He has been doing this for so long, and people always understand, depending if we have a black suit variant or not, that Spider-Man will always help the little guy, will always help the person that needs helping no matter what, and is always out there to truly just be a good symbol of hope to anybody that needs the hope around. And that specific just sentiment is the exact same with Supergirl. Her entire thing is just to be a symbol of hope and strength, and these two would automatically bond over one, their losses, and understand each other's pain without almost any judgment, and also, honestly, probably draw closer to each other due to the singular fact of they both are so fundamentally wanting to be these symbols, and so much are these symbols that it would just be a very good talking point for them to have, and a very good just thing for them to be able to really discuss with each other very, very frequently, along with just being able to actually talk to each other about specifically anything at all. And we have to admit that they would be having some very interesting conversations, to say the least. Now, if you're having, trouble just contemplating the idea of Peter Parker or Spider-Man specifically being able to bag anybody or just have a decent relationship with somebody like Supergirl, I do honestly need to remind you the people that he's dated, specifically someone including Captain Marvel, which is basically a superpowered individual in her own right, basically a kind of Superman-esque person. He's dated people that should be way out of his league. This guy is Peter Parker, and he has basically been able to get whoever he wants in almost any specific situation. So never doubt this man when it comes to dating or just any kind of relationship in general. He might not always keep them, but he can sure get them. But honestly, just continuing off with the just normal kind of talk, another thing that would probably honestly drive them closer and would honestly be a very more interesting thing to think about would be the balancing between them. The everyman hero and the superpowered hero would be a very interesting combination alone just to talk about. Peter Parker is a more grounded, relatable guy, even with his powers, while similarly, Kara Danvers tries to balance her humanity with that superpowered identity. They'd connect over the struggle of living their normal lives while also carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. And that specifically is also another reason I honestly think that they would just get along almost tremendously. If we were just really thinking about it, Kara Danvers' normal base identity is like a reporter, and she works with the news. And what does Peter Parker do? He is a photo taker, and it would just be a very, honestly, symbiotic relationship due to the fact of he is easily one of the best photo takers around, and he would just be easily able to take her photos in almost any position anyways, due to the fact of, he's Spider-Man. He can grab a picture of her in the air and somehow make a BS excuse like how he usually does when he gets Spider-Man's photos, but they would honestly probably have just an amazing relationship just off of that singular mutual love for journalism, for news, and just for that kind of media in general, which would just easily draw their bond even further. But it would honestly draw further into more of a mutual respect for the other person's strength. Supergirl, with her obviously Kryptonian power, might admire Spider-Man's determination and ingenuity. Peter doesn't actively rely on overwhelming strength, but his fights are usually using intelligence, skills, and heart. Obviously, Peter does have some incredibly strong strength. Not Kryptonian levels, obviously, but when it comes to his strength, if he's not holding back, he can do absolute damage. But obviously, but Spider-Man also would appreciate Kara's strength, both physically and emotionally. And she would constantly strive to be a beacon of hope for Earth, which Peter would be easily able to kind of help her with and just kind of really even heighten that specific ability just being around with her. I see a very large amount of playful and just energetic chemistry going on between these two because of their personalities being so lighthearted and fun. I could just imagine the playful banter between these two, especially with Peter's quips and Supergirl's extremely warm humor. Whether they're on a rooftop sharing live stories or just fighting side by side, their energy would be infectious and heartwarming. It would just be something almost insanely well and almost beautiful to see if we're really thinking about it. And it would just be so many different things that we could really just truly discuss. But kind of just getting more on to like wrapping this up, the one thing that I do also need to talk about before this video ends would be the fact that Peter would ground Supergirl and Kara would inspire Peter. Peter is as I said, Peter is a grounded, everyday man kind of superhero. Anyone could be Spider-Man. This kind of perspective would help Kara really stay connected to her human side. On the flip side, Supergirl's endless optimism and belief in people would just inspire Peter to dream bigger and push himself further as a hero. This would be an amazing dynamic just to really see play out, and they would really truly make an incredible team. Spider-Man's agility, smarts, web-slinging abilities, combined with Supergirl's raw strength, speed, and flight, would make them almost actively unstoppable. The trust between these two and respect that would be made would allow for incredible teamwork in combat, with Peter strategizing and Kara bringing the absolute powerhouse that could possibly be made. If we're just really talking about it, Spider-Man and Supergirl are two heroes who have faced immense loss, but have never let it stop them from doing what's right. Their shared values, humor, and chemistry would make them an unforgettable duo, whether it's saving the world or just hanging out and being them genuine selves. They'd absolutely love each other, and we would absolutely love to see it. So, what do you think? Do you think Peter and Kara Danvers would be the ultimate couple? Let me know down in the comments below, and as I said before, if you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you guys can get caught up with all the latest videos that I do be posting. You guys did really love the last one that I made with Wonder Woman, so I kind of just had to run it back and make another one about another character, and I'll kind of just be doing more videos like this since you guys did at least seem to enjoy this one, so, well, like the last one, so just, keep the love coming if you can. But with all that said, I hope you guys did enjoy, and peace.